Hi everyone, welcome to my super easy beginners tutorials. I shall pop a playlist at the end which shows you all the other tutorials. These are really simple for beginners and I'm going to talk you through everything. So I've got a bit of Saunders Waterford. It's a rough paper and it's about 5 by 7 inches, so nice small manageable size. What I thought I'd do today is show you a little bit of a sea scene, and I'm going to pop a little boat in. A little sailboat. So I'm going to do some billowing sails. I've got two sort of diamond shapes. And then a mast. And then a little bit of and it's like an elongated diamond really. This is fairly level here. So again, that shape. I'm going to pop some foamy bits of water, so I'm going to do some bubbling bits at the bottom, and we'll have a little man in here as well. It's got to be somebody sailing the boat, so there's a little man in there. A few little flicks with the pencil is all you need really. So I've got a round number 10, a round number 6 and a rigger. I'll talk you through these as I go. I'm going to pop a bit of water on. I'm using a Cotman palette. There's a link in the description if you want to know exactly what that palette is. I'm going to come around the sail. So we're going to go nice sunny day. So I've got cerulean blue. I'm going them down to the waterline. To come around the boat. Still using my round number 10. You could swap down to a smaller brush if you felt you needed it. But that flow of the water there's just enough of a sheen just to take this across the paper. So I'm going for a fairly flat sky. I'm going to pick up a little bit of cadmium red. Just take that through. So I'm just starting to get a little bit of a haze on the sky. So you can see that left to right stroke. There's not much on the brush. It's just giving it a nice subtlety. Swap down to a number 6. What I'm going to do is just do this little bit of the boat here. So I'm going to take a bit of water on. I'm going to pick up some, this is Payne's Grey or Ivory Black. Just pop this bit in. Now I'm not going to come all the way to the bottom of that diamondy shape there, because I want it to look like there's going to be a bit of breaking water on the edge of the boat. What you do need to do is just check with a damp brush that you've got this blue, I'm not quite there, to the edge of the sail. So a damp brush means that it's not going to watermark there. I'll dry this one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. You can choose whatever colour you want these sails to be. They can be whatever colour you want. I'm going to have a nice yellow one. So this is cadmium yellow. If you take it on a little bit thicker, just down that one side, you'll get a nice sense of shadow. And then the other one, I'm going to use a cadmium red, I think. So I'm going to take, this is quite a small sail, so I'm going to take this on dry. This also enables me to make sure that I'm getting really close to that sail, but not quite touching it. You can dry in between. Can you see how I've twisted around so I can see the tip of my brush? It's a really simple tip, but if you can see the tip of your brush at all times, you'll get a nice edge. So there's a very, very fine line between those two, which means they are not going to blend together unless I hit it in the wrong place. I'm just taking a little bit more on there just to make that bit of the sail darker. If I take a tiny bit of cerulean blue, so what we've got is a gap here. I'm just going to pop in a little bit of the cerulean blue just through there so that I've covered that gap. Okay, I'll dry that one off. Okay, so we're going to come onto the water and do a little bit of a reflection as well. So I'm going to wet the water a little bit. You don't need to be too concerned about getting all of the water totally wet. Especially around the boat. So this is my round number 10 and the cerulean blue that's coming in. I'm going to come over the man and over this sail bit here so that I don't miss that like I did in the sky. And a little bit more down here. If you leave odd white dry bits, it tends to look like crashing waves anyway. So I want to leave a little bit of a crashing wave at the front of the boat. Like that. Then with my round number 6, I'm going to bring in a little bit of colour. So that's a cadmium red. Now you need to make sure that the yellow is really quite thick so that when it comes on, it's doing its thing. You see you've instantly got that reflection happening really well. I'm going to pop a little bit of the reflection under there as well. That boat. You wouldn't get too much movement. I'm just going to take in a few wispy bits of the ultramarine blue. This is with my round number 6, and I'm being careful not to take too much water on because this is very nearly dry, so I don't want it to go on watermark. Just going to give a few coming through here. Give a little bit more underneath that wave. So I'm dabbing that off there because it is very nearly dry. It just shows you how you can control that. I've got a little bit of a watermark happening there, which I've just covered up a little bit. A bit that blue. So I'm getting these lovely ripples into the water. Really nice effect. What I'm going to do as well is pick up some of the Payne's grey. Just bring in some distant land over there. So that's just a little bit onto dry. If at any point you're worried, then dry it off in between. But this is very nearly dry anyway. So I'm able to pop that bit of distant land in. Okay, I'll dry this one off. Okay, so I've dried this one off and I've taken the tape off, and I just need to pop in a little figure and a mast. So you have choices as to how you can do this. You can use a fine liner pen, or you can use your rigger. It is hazardous trying to draw a straight line. So if I just do the figure's tiny within here, so I can pop the figure in, just a few dots. And I've got a figure on there, and then I'm going to opt to cheat and pop in a mast with a pen, just because it's a little bit easier to get those bits on nice and straight. And there's no rules, there's a little bit of a line there and a line there. We'll put some lines in coming in here as well. You make up your own rules, and I've just made that one up. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe and share. I'll pop another playlist here and a tutorial here, and I shall see you next time. Bye.